Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of For What It's Nerd. Today, I wanted to discuss something that isn't really news, and it's not really a review or anything like that. I wanted to do something slightly different, slightly more grassroots than that today. That sounds perhaps a bit weird to you guys, but I've been thinking a lot about content creation recently. For those who don't know, Peralta's Place turned 3 years old this year, my gaming channel. And For What It's Nerd, a few episodes ago, earlier this year, became 1 year old. So 1 year old, however you want to say it. And that, of course, comes with a lot of territory of like, okay, am I doing the right things? Am I building these brands the way I want to? And the reason I'm thinking about this a lot more at the moment is that I'm just about to hit on the 19th, so a few days' time. 2 days from now, as of recording, I am going to hit my affiliate anniversary, my 3rd year as an affiliate on Twitch. That's where I stream a good part of my content for what it's nerd, not For What It's Nerd. Sorry, Peralta's Place. I get my own brands confused in my head. There's that many. There's 3 now. Gosh, and yeah, so I over analyze a lot with this stuff, as most content creators admit to be honest. But I worry because I don't know if I'm doing what you guys are interested in half the time. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing by myself. I don't know if I'm doing, like, how do you mark a balance between those two? Because sometimes you're wondering, am I playing this game because I want to, or because people have suggested it to me? Am I talking about this topic because I want to, or because I thought, oh, if I don't talk about something this week, people might not be interested next week? It's a weird one, and it's hard to know where you stand with it sometimes, and sometimes you feel you're being disingenuous even when you feel like you are being the most genuine version of yourself that you can be. So I guess I just wanted to talk about it just generally and kind of map out in my own head and kind of let you guys in on that as I do it, why it's been so hard recently. And I've got to be honest, it's weird because actually I've been doing relatively well. Peralta's Place is kind of on an upsurge as regards its viewership, especially the God of War games that I've just like gotten through. I've just obliterated like the first 4 like ones that I can play because I can't play the PSP game and the like mobile games and stuff. But like 1, 2, and 3, and then Ascension, I finished now, so I'm going to be starting the new one soon, and that's an accomplishment. I haven't played and finished that many games in quite a while, actually. If you look on Peralta's Place before this year, like the last year, not like 2023, but like so midway from 2022 to 2023, I have completed a lot more games than I ever did on the channel previously. Like I completed 1 game, I think, previously to that. There's a video where I talk about the statistics of it, actually. It's quite interesting. And then if you look at my video count, I'm like nearly at 550 videos on Peralta's Place, which should be an achievement, but I see it as, okay, well, let's hit the next one before I've even got to that one. So it's hard. It's a hard thing. And I think it's because if you want to succeed, you have to push yourself because you have to be the best, or at least hit a niche, or work so hard that you're always ahead of someone else, which sounds negative, but kind of the truth of the game, right? If you want to be relevant, you have to get news out first, or you have to review something relatively early on, or you have to play a game almost as it's dropped. And that frustrates me sometimes because I'm not at a point where I can reliably do this, and a lot of people aren't. I understand that, and I'm not saying that I'm like, woe is me, I'm the only one. I'm not. I know that, but I'm not at a point where I can just sit and get through games at a good rate. I also have a lot of other interests that I'm trying to maintain, and friendships and social life, and so sometimes it really feels like content creation is something that my life could do without, even though I love it, even though it's part of my week to week, part of my day to day. It's one of the things I think about more than anything else, even more than the Roman Empire. If you're watching TikTok recently, you'll know what I mean. I'm kidding. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's an endless cycle, and I'm trying to get into this mindset of that's okay. It's okay to be on an endless cycle as long as you know when some days you let the cycle slow, you know? So today, for example, I'm really trying to step back and not do as much and relax, and it kind of paid off actually, because I feel like I still did a lot. I'm doing a lot. The day's not over yet. I'm recording this at about 5 p.m. British time, BST, and I still have like 5-6 hours after this to do whatever I want. So it's a thing where I think maybe me rushing myself is actually damaging my content more than anything else. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. And I don't know if I'm going to ever change. I try to, I really do, and I suppose that's the main thing, trying to. But it's hard. It's very hard. And I think a lot of content creators would say the same thing, that it's hard to value yourself and value your content if it's not going in the direction you want it to go. And of course, it's sad to say that means metrics, right? That means viewership, that means likes, that means subscriptions, that means subscribers on Twitch, that means monetary income. And sometimes you don't want it to be just that, and I don't. I try very hard not to. I have put a lot of money into this so far that I don't expect back. And I know a lot of people say, well, you put the money in with the expectation of getting something out of it. And yeah, to a degree, maybe I did, but I don't expect it back, really. I want to make the best content I can for the people who watch. And so when I make, anything I do, if it's not up to scratch, I don't really want it out there. And so I've never deleted things per se, but I always try and do better for next time. And so that can be hard. That can be a lot of stress on someone to always be striving for this, not perfection, because I know you can't reach perfection, but as close to perfection as you get. And one thing that I've really noticed recently, and it's hard because how do you kind of reconcile this? Because so you only have a certain amount of time in any given day, right? And I already put myself above, I think 48 hours can fit into 24. I always give myself far too many goals. But the thing that I found recently is that the skills that I want to improve outside of streaming, outside of content creation, that I feel like I can't because of content creation, or rather because, how do I put it? If I feel like it's because my job, it's a hard thing to kind of word properly. So if content creation was my job, then I'd be able to pursue these other things as hobbies. But because I have another job and then content creation and then hobbies, it's hard because I see sort of content creation as not a hobby. And I know a lot of people will say, well, it is until it's a career, right? A hobby is a hobby until it's a career. But I don't see it that way. I see it as I work at this like it's a job as much as I can. I try every day to put out content, and if not put out content, think about the content that I'm doing, or check how things are going, check why that's working versus why that's not working. And don't get me wrong, I probably get it wrong more than not. I haven't seen startling crazy growth at any point of my 3-year career so far on Peralta's Place, and on For What It's Nerd. It's different anyway because podcasts have their own kind of different metrics, etc. But and this is not a negative thing, it's just the truth of the situation. I have not grown excessively or sporadically or crazily yet. That's not to say it won't happen in the future, and that's why I don't give in, because I care about the content I'm making, and that's part of that's enough. People come into my streams and say, I really enjoy watching you play these games. But if they don't say that, they're at least laughing and basically intimating the same thing, right? So it's hard though, because of course you want to succeed. Of course you want to see those numbers go up, which is kind of shallow in a sense. But I try not to make it shallow. It's just that I want to do well. I want more people to see the things I make, because I hope that it would be fun for them. I want to make things that are fun. I want people to watch my videos and laugh. I want people to watch my videos and think about things, or in the case of For What It's Nerd, or to relax as regards my other channel, my Mythos channel. All these things that I want to do to kind of, it's about me, but it's about the viewership. Do you know what I mean? It's not just about me. This isn't all about, hey, I don't even really want to be famous per se. That was what I was about to say, and I don't even want that. I don't want to be famous. I want to have a career where I can do the things I love. Play games, have fun with people, socialize with people, um, you know, talk about movies, talk about gaming, talk about culture, talk about um, comic books, talk about board games, play board games, all these things that really, really enrich my life. I would love to have those be center front, uh, center field. Oh gosh, is that a sports reference? That is not something I like. You know what I mean? Center of attention, so to speak. I wish that were where I was at in my life, and sadly, I'm not yet, and that's okay. It's just hard some days. And so what I guess I'm trying to say is that this week has been very hard for me in that regard. Um, and being honest about that helps. And being open about that helps. And being real about the fact that I want to succeed at this helps. Because a lot of people say the toxic positivity route is the best route, right? Like, oh no, like I really just like no, you want to succeed at this, right? Like you want this to be a success that you have. You want this to be a brand eventually one day. If you want that, say it. There's no point in me sitting here and being like kind of humble and saying like, oh no, I really only do this for X reason, like to play games. And it's not just to play games. Like saying that will be disingenuous to you guys. Same with For What It's Nerd. Yes, I would like for this podcast to become a place where people, would I like to one day have a voice actor from a show on, or would I like to one day be able to sit down and do an interview with at a press junket or something? Of course I would. Like saying I wouldn't would be silly, because that's what I would love to do. Is it going to happen right now? No, that's okay. That's okay. And if it takes years and years and years, that's okay too, because sometimes people are on different paths. And I find that hard some days, and it's not okay some days, but it's okay today. And I'm kind of saying that so that I understand that as much as letting me say that to other people who might be going through this, or other people who are feeling something similar in another field or whatever. That I think, I don't know if it's my generation or if it's just humanity in general, I don't know, but I think we're all racing towards these things that are like in the future, and kind of forgetting what we're doing right now. Which, like, for example, for me today, even though I wasn't planning to do anything, I managed to play 2 of the games I really wanted to play for ages. I finished an episode of a D&D show that I was watching. I read one of the Marvel Legendary Collections. I finished one of those. I listened to a part of my audiobook. I had a relax, just a general relax. I did all my usual stuff. Like I got myself ready. I felt really good. I feel really comfortable. I feel like my skin's getting better. Like, and that's just like part of my day. That's me taking a break from content and just kind of understanding that I'm allowed to step back from it sometimes. And so it really does kind of empower me to say, okay, but like I can apply that to my content too. And like, not to say to race back in and then burn out again and have to do it all over again, but it's that thing of maybe I just need to be a little bit more patient, because logically I can be patient, but emotionally sometimes it's hard, right? And I think a lot of people will agree with that. And so, yeah, I guess what I'm trying to say with this is my Twitch affiliate anniversary is coming up this week. I've been thinking a lot about success. And even though maybe it's not the success that will be the ultimate success, or that it would be the kind of crazy top supreme kind of like everyone is watching you kind of success, right? It's not like my podcast is like got 1,000 listens a minute or whatever. Like I don't even know podcast metrics, so I don't look into it because it's probably better I don't. But what I'm trying to say is that even though I'm not succeeding there right now, that doesn't mean there isn't a success curve, right? And I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm recommitting to all this content that I do. I want to recommit to it. I want to say again, I'm doing this because this is the thing I want to do, and I couldn't imagine my life without it. Not in the same way, at least. And so, yeah, I know this episode has been a little bit different. I know it's been sort of rambly, which again, last week kind of was as well. But I think sometimes it's nice to be personable. I think sometimes it's nice to just talk about myself a little bit as well, to let you guys understand me a little bit more, to let you guys kind of get into my head a little bit more. Though be warned, it is crazy at times. And just kind of, I don't know, one of a better word, shoot the shit. But talk about things that matter on a different scale, right? Because I talk about the idea that For What It's Nerd is here because to give a fair chance and discuss things and see the opposite side of a coin. Well, that doesn't need to just be about a movie. It can be about issues that face, like me with content creation or me with, I don't know, the SAG-AFTRA strikes is a really good example. I really enjoyed that episode because I felt like I was talking about something that was kind of meaningful as well as like a movie, like in movies and like delays and stuff like that. Like, I feel like sometimes it's nice to have a piece that kind of discusses issues that people face in the communities that I'm part of. And so, yeah, I don't know. It feels like this episode was worthwhile, even though it's not a news episode. It's not a review episode. It's not like a splashy episode. It's nothing. It's not even like a fluff piece. It's like just being honest, just being truthful. And I hope you guys can appreciate that and enjoy that. And let me know how you feel if you're a content creator, or let me know how you perceive the issues I've talked about, or let me know if you think I'm talking absolute like shit. That's okay too. But yeah, so thank you guys for listening. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you do and you want more kind of just general discussion pieces, not just about me, but discussion in general about issues and like nerd issues, I suppose you could call them, or like I don't even know how else to word it, but stuff like that. If you guys are interested in me kind of discussing like broader subjects, or like, for want of a better word, philosophizing on certain things that we face in our community, or on Twitch, or on YouTube, or gaming, or like as regards like stuff like the SAG-AFTRA strike and stuff like that. I don't know, anything that you would be interested in me talking about, let me know, because I'm always excited to hear new ideas. I also think I want to do a mailbag again at some point, because I haven't done one of those in ages. So if you guys have any questions you'd like to throw my way, I'd love to do a mailbag. I'd love to discuss your questions and your thoughts on programs that are coming out, or trailers, or TV shows. Like, sorry, not TV shows, movies. I already said TV shows. Or get, all that type of stuff. I'd love to know what you guys are thinking about, what you guys are doing, what you guys are interested in. And yeah, I think I'll leave it there, guys. So thank you for watching / listening. As always, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.